Hi everyone, welcome back to another painting tutorial on Tabletop Anarchy. Today I will be taking you through how I paint the Mitsubishi Zeros from Blood Red Skies. I will eventually be covering all of the nations, so keep tuned for those. But I hope you enjoy this tutorial and I hope you like it. The first step in painting your plane will be to apply a quick primer. I used light grey for this because it's not too far away from the final coat, which will be a white. The next step, I got myself a Satin White aerosol. I did it in two separate coats, two light coats, because if you do it in one heavy coat, it can really pool in them recesses, and being such a small miniature, it can really take away from the appearance and can ruin it quite easily. So you can always stick more on, but I'd recommend doing two light coats. For this next step, I grabbed myself some decals off eBay. I think they cost me about £3.50, so you get a lot of decals for your money. And I think the final result of having real decals on your miniature will be a lot better than the stickers you get. So the first step in applying my decals was to get the micro set solution from MICROSCALEs. All you have to do is get a brush, dip it in the pot and lightly brush it over where the decals are going to be on your model. There's a couple of reasons for this. One, it softens the decal and it really does help it set to sort of paint surfaces, you know, rough, smooth, and it just makes the decal look a lot better. The decals I just soaked 15-30 seconds in some lukewarm water, and then as you can see now I'm just sliding them into a rough position where they're going to be, their permanent positions are going to be. And once they're in a rough position, I get a bit more of the solution and I just lightly brush it over the decals, and then leave it a minute, 2 minutes, doesn't really matter too much. And then you sort of move it into a rough final position and then just give it a squeeze down with a moist paper towel to really help push that decal into all them recesses. Once all your decals have been applied and they've had time to dry, grab yourself the MICROSCALE solution from MICROSCALE. Same process really, just lightly brush it over the top of your decals, but at this point they are quite soft, so just be wary of that. Once this is on and you leave it to dry, it may look like your decal is coming off your model. Do not touch it. That is the one piece of advice I will give you, is to not touch it. It'll sort itself out and it'll set back down, and you can apply this as many times as you want to get that effect. It's the first time now to actually get some paint on a brush, and I got Necromancer Cloak from the Army Painter range, and I just painted round the canopy of the plane. I tried a few different methods when I did this. I tried to fill in the little gaps individually with a small brush. But if you're doing, 6-7 planes for a squad, it is very time consuming. So this method works just as well. So I just painted the entire canopy in Necromancer Cloak, and we'll move on to the next step. The next step, I got myself just a small paintbrush and a blue. The blue I used was flat blue from Tamiya. But if you've got personal preferences, as long as it's blue, it's just to take away a little bit of that darkness from the Necromancer Cloak and to just give it, almost like a reflection look. And I applied that just sort of in the center of all the different openings in the canopy, all the glass areas in that one. The next step is to use matte white to apply the raised edges over your canopy. Just be quite careful at this point, because you don't want to be, getting your blues and your Necromancer Cloaks out again to touch up. So just take your time with this this step, but just lightly brush it over those raised edges. The next step is a nice, quick and easy one. Grab yourself Necromancer Cloak and just paint that over all of the engine cover. The next step, I used London Grey from Vallejo, and this paint I just applied to the cone of the propeller. It's the last step of painting a miniature now, and that is to apply a quick wash. For that I used Army Painter's Quickshade Dark Tone with some of their Quickshade Mixing Medium. I used it in quite a weak wash. I made it in 75% mixing medium to 25% wash. The reason I did this is because at this point it is really easy to overpower that model with a dark wash. So I went, a real light wash. And just if you want to apply more, you can, but just go steady with the wash, because you can quite easily ruin your miniature at this point. That wraps up for today. Hope you liked it and I hope it helps. Like I said before, I will be covering all of the nations for Blood Red Skies, so if this isn't your chosen nation, don't panic, yours is on the way soon, so make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. Also, the lads at TTA would love to see what you're working on, whether you followed this tutorial or you just want to show us what you're working on. Go to our Facebook page and stick some photos down there, we'd love to see them. I've gone ahead and done 6 of these bad boys, so at some point these will be facing off in the Pacific against the Mustangs, and we'd love you to be part of that. So if you liked the video, like it. If you like the channel, subscribe, and we hope to see you in the war room soon.